Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Cynthia Smith. This is the Intuitive Hypnotherapy Podcast. And moreover, this is a replay of our group hypnotherapy session. So, why are we doing this? Well, it's a cost-effective way at just $25 per person per class to attend group therapy. Moreover, you get a chance to visit and drop in, honestly, from anywhere in the world. It's on Zoom. So you can be in the comfort of your home and enjoying a nice cup of tea with your favorite blankie wrapped around you and share some of what's going on in your world and listen to some insight about the topic of the week and or month, depending on the series. And I will do much like I used to do when I had a meetup group, and that is I would choose a topic, and the topic might be anxiety and how to heal anxiety triggers in the moment. It might be something on mindfulness or building self-esteem or healing relationships. And that may take one session, or I may extend it out over 3 or 4 sessions in the week, in the month. Anyway, in the class, much like the podcast, will be broken up into half is the session time, the therapy, the talk time, share if you have something to contribute or something that you want to ask or share with the group. And I get to practice my um, Zoom class controls of muting and unmuting people. And I invite everybody to explore their art of patience as we're just launching this. And then the second half of the class, and it'll be run about an hour, will be a hypnosis session on that topic. So, since this is a rebroadcast, a soft launch of the original um, first class, and I was a little behind the 8 ball in getting the announcement out, so I had no attendees, which is fine because the first time I recorded this, apparently I didn't have the sound adjusted correctly, or it was getting the sound from my web camera instead of my podcasting microphone. And I learned that as I was trying to um, upload it to the podcast channel. The format will also go like this to those of you that want to be on camera for the recorded portion, which will be the hypnosis portion. Um, just leave your settings as is. If you don't want to be recorded, your face, just turn off your camera, um, and feel free to uh, change your name on your Zoom account. I don't really care. It just matters if you get here and get the healing. That's the important part. My great wish is that this will expand to many, many people, and I'll be able to reach many people at once, and everybody gets a healing, everybody gets a lift. And so, without an audience for today, I'll do what I typically do is just pick a topic. And the one that's been coming up a lot lately is, a crowd favorite is anxiety. And there are so many forms of anxiety. There's mild to wild, there's category specific. I get anxious when I think about my bank balance being too low and am I able to cover my bills? I get anxious if I think about having to talk in public. I get anxious if I think about going out in a swimsuit. There's many categories and many ways that anxiety pops up for us. And my general truth about anxiety is harbored in fear, some level of fear. And it's also an energy that was not inherent or innate in you as a spirit first alighting onto the planet in human form. So, any foreign energy, by definition, by this set of parameters, you have the full right to get rid of, to release. It is not for your greatest and highest good. And the antithesis of anxiety is security, is feeling grounded, feeling present, feeling safe. If you feel safe, it's easier to believe that the universe will provide and you'll be able to cover your bills. If you feel safe, you'll feel comfortable, even if you goof up talking in front of people. If you feel safe and maybe a little bit confident and maybe a little DFM, that's our psychic school, an acronym for it doesn't fucking matter, about what you look like in a bathing suit. If you feel good and it's appropriate for being in the sun and the sand and you feel comfortable, God bless, right? So, with that being said, let me take a moment, see if I have any questions from the universe in anxiety. Yes, so one of the questions was oftentimes the first step or the first tool often used to manage anxiety is to take a deep breath. We know that that activates the diaphragm, triggers the vagus nerve, which helps downregulate the nervous system, helping you turn off the sympathetic nervous system, helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system. But we also know that sometimes it's fight, flight, or freeze. And sometimes we're in the freeze mode. And sometimes if you're frozen, can't take a breath, or it's hard to go, oh, I'm going to take a deep breath. So what do you do in that opportunity? And this we're going to change in meditation is the first thing to doing anything is first imagine that you can. So if you in the moment are so anxious that you can't take a deep cleansing breath, if you're doing the panic breathing, the shallow breathing, the panic breathing, that's fine. It's where you need to be in the moment. If you can close your eyes and imagine that you could take a deeper breath than what you're taking at the moment, then that will begin to unravel that thread of tension and anxiety, and that will get you to where you can take a deep cleansing breath. And when you can do the first thing, which is imagine that you can heal, that you imagine you can take a deep breath, and think of all the other things you could imagine improving in your life. You could imagine having a situation where you don't get anxious. Or if you do get anxious, you find a way to laugh it off and work through the anxiety. Kind of cool, huh? So, with that being said, any other questions from the universe? And for the record, when I close my eyes and I get quiet like this, I am in the center of my head. I am a point of light in the center of my head, as I've instructed you all many, many times. I'm looking at you from behind my closed eyes. I tell my clients I can see you best with my eyes closed because I'm seeing you as spirit. I'm seeing you without the visual stimuli. And I can read the room, if you will. And so, Ooh. And sometimes in a session, you will yawn. Sometimes I will yawn. And that's a normal reaction. It's a normal reaction to moving energy. We are already beginning to move energy, and I might yawn, you might yawn, and just be amused by that. Means you're doing good. So as I take a look around at my virtual class, I'm sending out some hellos to all these people that have listened before, new and clients that are not currently getting care, and people who have yet to call me or have yet to schedule me. Yes, there's a lot of attention out there, and I'm so, so grateful. It is my greatest intention to help the planet heal, one soul at a time, one group at a time, one community at a time, however I can. Yes, so we will look at different kinds of anxiety. Um, First chakra, is the body safe to, I'm going to call it lighter fare, but it could be important in your universe if you are required by your job to talk in front of a group of people, or if you're just trying to find your voice in a relationship. Sometimes that can be riddled with anxiety as we trying to find our footing and trying to find our voice. So that's what I'm getting from the universe as we enter into this first class. Welcome to Intuitive Hypnotherapy, and welcome to Class 1, Session 1 of Group Hypnotherapy. So this is the time typically when we take a short sponsor break, helps cover the cost, briefly, limited fashion, to cover the cost of producing this podcast. And when you're due, go to the restroom, get a glass of water, find someplace comfy to sit where you won't be interrupted for about 30 minutes, and we'll be right back. Fantastic. Welcome back, everybody. And with that being said, get all snuggled up wherever it is you're going to be and close your eyes. Yes, take a big deep breath and let it go. And do that again, please. Take a big deep breath and let it go. And one more time, the biggest breath of the day. Really fill the lungs and blow it all out, releasing any tension you have. Continue to the degree you can to breathe into your belly. Sending your breath to any place in your body you might feel tension or discomfort. Imagine that you're breathing in that life force energy. Intend that that life force energy is healing whatever needs to be healed, is restoring whatever needs to be restored. With every breath, allowing your chest to rise and fall. Breathing in and breathing out, letting every breath and every bit of you get here, be fully present in this moment for you, for self-care. Imagine with every inhalation, you gather your energy back from wherever you've left it. Bring your attention back from the shows you've watched, the searches you've done on the internet, the people that you've engaged with during the week. Bring all your energy back for you. It's like a warm blanket, allowing you to quieter and quieter, more peaceful, grounded. And yes, if you're watching on the YouTube, I stepped up to close the door for my office mate. And my background is the icon I use if by chance you happen to cancel or want to reschedule with less than 24 hours notice. Were I not to stand up, you would have never known. Just looks like a lovely lotus flower halo behind me. And as we continue going deeper and deeper into relaxation, quiet and peaceful, safe and relaxed, I'll begin counting down from 5 to 1, as if you're walking down a beautiful staircase. You can feel the floor beneath your feet. You can feel a handrail in one hand or the other, helping to steady your descent. Your physical body and your conscious mind get to take a rest. Your subconscious awareness is open for business and ready to make some changes. 5. Imagine taking a step down this beautiful staircase. Your whole body begins to relax. Tension drains from your muscles. Your awareness drifts off as you begin to power down. 4. Deeper still. Your muscles soften and relax. Your tongue might fall away from the roof of your mouth. The small muscles around your eyes begin to soften as you drift deeper down, deeper down, deeper down. 3. Deeper still. Your whole body simply goes lax with the relaxation. You melt into the chair or table. All the tension just drifts away. Your mind gets quieter and quieter. Deeper down, deeper down. You drift, you float, you sink, heavy and relaxed. 2. Doubling that sense of relaxation, quiet, peaceful, safe. Your body feels comfortable. Breathing down, drifting down to as much as 10 times more relaxed. Cannot keep your eyes open, drifting, floating, lying, and one, all the way down, down into the quiet, into the peaceful, the safe and relaxed, into the quiet abyss of your subconscious awareness, the safe place where you can grow and heal and thrive. In this quiet place, imagine yourself in your bubble, your energy field. It's around you all the time, whether you're aware of it or not. See your energy field around you and see it at least 3 feet around you. And then if you feel like it, push it out a little bit more, making your bubble extra spacious today. And then when you're ready, choose a color for your bubble, a color that feels safe and warm and generous and nurturing. Choose a color that says, oh, this is amazing. And be in that color in your bubble, safe and relaxed. And allow yourself just to be, and just to be aware of your energy field. We know that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be transformed. And that is what we'll be doing today, transforming energy. As you begin to sink deeper down, deeper down, deeper down. Imagine, if you will, that your bubble, imagine a tube of light that connects your bubble to the center of the earth. Make that tube of light at least as wide as you are, at least as wide as the chair you're sitting on. Connect it all the way down to the center of the earth, giving you and your bubble an additional sense of being grounded, of being tethered, supported. But this tube of light also acts as a garbage chute. It allows you an escape route for any energies you're ready to release, anything you're ready to let go of. In your bubble, the color of your choosing, imagine you look around and you start to see inside your bubble those same balls that you would find in a ball pit. They're multicolored, or they have a single color. And just see what you see. And imagine that there's one color of balls and a number of balls associated with your partner. Another color of balls is associated with your workmates. Maybe you have a different color for your family or your siblings or your parents. Each different color of ball represents a different person or group of people that you have interacted with this past week. And you might notice in your space that there's just a few Or you may notice that there's a lot. There are no wrong answers. And each of these balls represents somebody else's energy, their story or their problems or energy that they don't want to deal with and decided to toss off into your bubble. And because you're a healer, you had decided to adopt it. Some of the energy is in there and you didn't even realize. For example, the cashier that you had the nice exchange at the grocery store, or one of your coworkers that had a lovely little water cooler anecdote to share. Sometimes people leave energy in our space. And yes, sometimes we leave our energy in other people's space. We'll get to that in a moment. And yes, sometimes people throw energy at you. Sometimes it's lovely and kind, like, girl, you should always wear that color. It's amazing on you. And every time you pick that color, you feel amazing. Feel free to keep that one. Other times, people can throw unkind energy. And I could give you lots of examples, but I don't have to. But that being said, sometimes it still gets stuck in our space. Ouch. You can make those balls black or dark, dark gray. So whether you have a few or a lot, imagine at the bottom of your bubble, you have an escape hatch. And you can open that escape hatch and all these bubbles, all these balls, do, 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 just tumble down your grounding cord all the way down to the center of the earth where they are recycled into neutral energy. They can't harm you or anyone else ever again. Simply by allowing yourself to ground that energy off. And when you're ready, imagine that you can look up into the heavens and see a few of those stars in the midnight sky. And know that you are created from the same energy that created those stars. So when you're ready, grab up some of that stardust, pull it down into your bubble, and allow it to fill any places that need filling, need healing. Broken heart, a body level issue, illness or injury. Maybe you just want a little more pep in your step. But you can also call that stardust into your space and you can assign it a quality of energy that you'd like to experience more of. For example, confidence or certainty. Certainty is a little bit different from confidence. Confidence, you're confident that you can do something, or you're confident about yourself in certain situations. Certainty is you know that you know how to do something. They can overlap and they can be distinct. I like to have a healthy dose of both of them. I want to know that I know, and I want to confidently know that I know. You could call in some gratitude. You could call in some intuition, some validation. You could call in some grace, some ease. You could bring in safety, the concept of feeling safe wherever you go. And once you've drawn into your space, into your body, and into your bubble, the positive qualities that you'd like to experience, I'd like you to imagine a bubble on the outside of your bubble. And in this bubble, we're simply going to write the word anxiety. The word itself has energy. It has a charge, it has a meaning, and that meaning can vary greatly from person to person, situation to situation. So what I'd like you to do is just sit and look at the word, but stay in your bubble. And if you can, be a point of light in the center of your head. Close your eyes and imagine the word on the outside of your bubble. And now look at it. Being a point of light in the center of your head gives you the tool of neutrality, of being able to be a neutral observer to that, whatever it is you're looking at. Right now, we're just looking at the word anxiety. In a moment, we'll look at the concept anxiety. So if you know that anxiety is a concept, is a word, the word itself has no power over you. You are powerful. You are a manifester of stardust. You are created from stardust. And as you allow yourself to be a neutral observer to the word, imagine now from the center of your head with your eyes closed, imagine that the word turns into the concept of anxiety, that condition of being anxious. But once again, it's in a bubble and it's not touching your bubble. It's on the outside of your bubble. Allow yourself to be that neutral observer to that concept. Concept has no power. You have the power. And then in the next moment, create a second bubble on the outside of your space next to the bubble that says anxiety, not touching it or your bubble. And put in that bubble your specific version of anxiety or the one you want to heal in this session. If it's situational or around a person or an event. And just see it as if you're about to go give that talk or find your voice or put on that swimsuit. And as you do that, stay in your bubble. Stay in the center of your head. And just feel what you feel. Whatever comes up for you, allow it. You'll likely notice that it's not as intense because you are in your bubble, you're grounded, you're in the center of your head, and you're putting some distance between you and the situation that makes you anxious. And now for the fun part. Allow that bubble that represents the word and the concept anxiety, and the bubble that represents your significant situation that causes you to be anxious. Imagine that they have their own color, and it's vastly different than the color of your own bubble. And then once again, imagine that you can see those ball pit balls. And you might have some, you may have a lot that represent the concept of anxiety. You might have a few, you might have a lot that represent anxiety in your specific situation that we're looking at today. Either way, toss those balls into their respective bubbles. We can't create or destroy energy, but we're going to move it. And when you've put all the balls into their respective bubbles, let those bubbles that represent anxiety and the situations that make you anxious, let them float away to the edge of the universe. Let them blow up into fairy dust, clearing them out of your space. And as you take another deep breath, you'll likely notice that your body and your bubble feels a little lighter, a little brighter, a little more certain, a little more secure. Now, the last stage of this healing, in your mind's eye, see yourself in that situation that once, a long time ago, might have made you anxious. And see yourself as confident, certain, peaceful, graceful, validated. See yourself as you can imagine your highest self showing up for you, being confident and certain, grounded, feeling safe and protected in your bubble. And let that new version of you be the predominant force that you feel. And then envelop that sensation of feeling calm and certain in those situations. Fill your physical body, enter your heart chakra, and then spread out into all of you. So now when you think of public speaking or putting on a swimsuit or finding your voice or any of a million other ways and situations that might cause us to feel anxious, see it as your new self. This is your new normal. And it's nothing new. This has always been in there. This is who you are. Certain, confident, capable, amazing, full of stardust, and ready to shine. As you take another big deep breath in and let it go, I'm going to count you back into full waking awareness. You will, in all situations, feel more confident, more certain, and less of the A word. You will have more get tos than have tos in your world. And you'll have a little fun and a little DFM in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open, back to the room. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming to the first group hypnotherapy class with all energetic members. I'm Dr. Cynthia Smith. You can find me at drcynthiasmith.com, Intuitive Hypnotherapy, or Cynthia Smith Chiropractic and Acupuncture. It is my great joy and pleasure to meet you, to bring this healing. And we'll see you again next week. Bye now.